So something that I've been thinking about is how do you actually deal with the transition when your kids are not at your house anymore? Um, everybody that I have known, so there's this kind of like weird transition that happens in life, right? Like, so what ends up happening, especially if you have your kids early, or if you do have kids or not, your kids become you're very centered on your kids when you have them. When they're really little, your entire life is very much centered on, being a parent and making sure that you're there. They're very dependent on you. You can't just like up and leave the first couple years generally. Um, so for us, it was the first, I don't know, like 7 years of our kids. So we had two kids. It was actually like 10 years. Um, we were very grounded, like couldn't really go anywhere. There was not a lot that you can actually do because you're really focused on those kids. You can't just leave them, right? Like that is kind of bizarro to even sort of consider that. And we didn't have help um, because we live away from home. That's kind of how the academic market works. You kind of have to go wherever you get a job. And so we live away from parents and all that kind of stuff, which, if we lived in the same town, I don't know how much we would rely on them anyways, because that's a lot to put on to parents or grandparents. But what I'm getting at is your whole life is very much centered around kids for a long time, and it's almost like you kind of go through a bit of a grieving process when they are more independent. They are becoming more on their own, and everybody that I've seen that has gone through the moment when they kind of leave your place, um, you kind of really go through it's a major change that is difficult to deal with. Um, and most people are, they sort of recognize that it's difficult to sort of go through. And I want to be prepared for when that happens, not in the sense of, um, I'm still going to go through a lot of transitions. I've still got a ways yet, but, I'm sort of mentally preparing and making sure that I have other things that are on the go that keep me occupied, like the reciprocity project, for example. Making sure that I have hobbies that are taking up my time in such a way that they're important to me. Now, the one part of my life that is missing and that is kind of challenging is that sort of, my kids are slowly becoming part of. I like hanging out with them. They're kind of like my friends, right? And um, I need to sort of figure out how to get like different friendship circles and things like that are going to be, important in my life. It is just a really crazy thing to go through, and I don't think people sort of understand this process. If you talk to people that have gone through it once they're older, um, they'll all say it's pretty kind of, it's difficult to sort of make that transition. And I think, having, despite having all the hobbies and all that kind of stuff, you still go through a lot of change or pain or whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? Like you still have to grow as a person for it's just so different. And, I think about that. Then I also think about like, yeah, man, it is very different. I mean, just my wife and I's relationship is going to be very different. And I'm thinking about like, what should we do? What is it that, what are the things that we really need to start doing? And I think like getting more hobbies in my life is important, but also figuring out ways to, date more often, do things where it's just, us two, like things like that, um, which we don't do nearly as much. I admit, like we're really not great on that front. We do some date nights and things, but it's not nearly as much as we should. It's, maybe every couple months we'll go do a date night. It's been a long time. So, I mean, it's probably been even long. I can't remember last time we've done a date night. And it's really, I think about like, how are we going to make this transition? What's that going to look like? I want to spend more time on the reciprocity project as I get older, and, help out more people. Clearly, there's always more work, like my work that never ends. But I think I need to get another hobby, something that I can incorporate and make it part of my life. I don't know what that is at this moment, and what that looks like, but something I think is healthy. So, anyways, change is fun, right? Like, you kind of have to prepare for it. You prepare for it, um, and when you go through it, you think that it was kind of nonsense that you actually prepared for it, and there's really nothing that you could do. But change is fun, and this is just another beautiful moment in life that you have to figure yourself out, and really discover a lot about yourself. Right? We go through all of these moments in our lives, where we have to figure ourselves out and realize that we're figuring it out as we go. Right? Nobody's got the right answers. You go through a lot of moments. Grieving is an important part. Grieving not just of a person, but grieving of things past and opportunities, things you've gone through, sort of reminiscent feeling. Those are all really important parts of our life that that they matter. They're definitely key moments of where we grow. I don't know. I don't understand the sort of brain development and all of that kind of stuff. That's not my area, but I know it's important. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.